Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. Today on the bed, the horizontal throne, we are on twin size. Just so everybody knows, today we are talking about Spider-Man films. We're talking about just everything that happened to me in my childhood to lead me to Spider-Man having such an impact on my life, especially with the original trilogy and then the Amazing Spider-Man kind of like 1.5 trilogy because there's only two. And just everything that happened and like where I think that Homecoming will stand on this, because Homecoming is coming out in like a couple weeks and I'll be seeing it, and then I want to talk about where that will be on the list. But for right now, before we get into the third Spider-Man in my lifetime, which is crazy, like by the time the next generation comes along, how many fucking Spider-Mans will there be? It just seems like a character that nobody can seem to tackle right. It just seems like nobody can seem to hold it down in a perfect way to where that character and that universe of that characters can go on for a long time. It doesn't seem like Sony did the original trilogy and like the first two were awesome, but then the third one just kind of fell off, and I think the Amazing Spider-Man just tried to do the same thing and then that one just fell off. But I think now we're trying a new thing with Homecoming where it's connected to a universe and he's younger so he can go for more movies. Kevin Feige just confirmed that Miles Morales is in the MCU. So that just opens up a whole new door to like Earth 616 stuff, and then where Miles is on his Earth, and then just a bunch of stuff like that. And then we can obviously get the symbiote from Infinity War. That could be a side thing that happens that can lead to other Spider-Man films. So I think that Homecoming has the most potential to be the one that lasts the longest. I think he is the one that will last the longest, Tom Holland. But for right now, we are talking about the movies that have already come out, which are, there's the original three and then the Amazing Spider-Mans. Alright, now, I'm not gonna front, the Amazing Spider-Mans were like some of my favorite like movies of Spider-Man. They're up there, but like Spider-Man 2, 2004, I was 4 years old. It was the best fucking time ever. Into Power Rangers, into Spider-Man, eating, no schoolwork, no job stress, no college, nothing. It was just pure Spider-Man, and I think that's really what just like got me just like so into the character, just knowing that that's all I had to do, and just like having that feeling whenever I watched back the movies, because like I was watching a few clips on YouTube like last night of the pizza delivery scene where he has to deliver the pizzas in under 7 minutes, and then just the train scene with Doc Ock was just like it's so good, it's so Spider-Man that I just cannot just I can't not put it as number one. Spider-Man 2 is number one. The first Spider-Man will probably be number one if I wasn't so young when it came out, if I wasn't 2 years old when it came out. But Spider-Man 2 was like right around the age where I was just young enough to like grasp like the idea of a hero and what it was and who he was, and it was just so awesome. Spider-Man 2 is just like the best Spider-Man movie in my opinion. Just all around the characters. The Spider-Man, Tobey Maguire, his Peter Parker, oh my god. Now, like I said, I'm not gonna front. Number 2 on my list is The Amazing Spider-Man. I'm about to get killed for this because I still haven't said Spider-Man 1. Like I said, Spider-Man 1 was too young for me. It wasn't around when I was able to grasp it. The Amazing Spider-Man came out in the year 2012. 2 years after I had the life-changing event of going to see the Avengers. I went and saw the Avengers just for shits and gigs, and then I walked out a new person. I walked out like, holy fucking shit. Get me to a comic book store and let me buy everything. And I did that. I went and I bought all the, I went and I just bought like Avengers comics, and I bought the action figures, and I bought the DVDs. I watched everything on Netflix. And then 2 months later, a new superhero movie comes out. So I'm lit. I'm like, fuck yeah, Spider-Man. I go to see it. The Lizard. It might not have been the best movie ever. For whatever reason, the Gwen Stacy instead of Mary Jane, the Lizard CGI. Fuck off. But that's what my 12-year-old self has to say to you. And just like, it was something I could just grasp as a new comic book reader 5 years ago, just wanting everything to do with this universe, all these characters. So I watched these movies. I watched The Amazing Spider-Man in particular in theaters, and I was like, oh my god, it's dope. It's fucking everything. The Lizard. I dressed up as the Lizard for Halloween 2012. I was fat. Picture here. I know the picture in my brain, but so I'm just gonna talk about it, but it's on the screen now. What the fuck is going on? First of all, that's your mother's shoes right there. I have no idea why you are wearing your mother's shoes, 12-year-old Zane. I don't know who told you that hair was okay. I don't know who told you that outfit was okay. No, a costume is not a mask and a tail. Stop wearing white basketball shorts and stop being so fat and eating Totino's pizzas for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Fuck, dude. So the after that rant, the Amazing Spider-Man was something that just like made my existence worth it in 2012, and the Avengers and that whole universe of Marvel characters. I didn't get into DC until like 2013. Yeah, by like early 2013, late 2012. So like Marvel was all I had, and then Spider-Man, it was just something that I just connected to for some reason because I loved it so much. So that's why it's on there. Like I said, it probably wasn't the best movie technically, but it was awesome to me. Now the third one, everybody's gonna get dumb hype. Spider-Man 1, let's fuck with that shit, man. Okay, now Spider-Man 1, Dentist Office, 2004. I was, 2005? Something like that. I think I saw Spider-Man 2 first, before Spider-Man 1. I think I saw Spider-Man 2 somewhere in theaters or on DVD or something, I don't know. That's so long ago, but like, I remember going to the dentist, and it was me and my sister, and I was done, and my sister still had like 20 or 30 minutes to go. And the dentist was like, yo fam, you wanna watch this good movie? And I was like, sure, hook it up. And he put on this portable DVD player thing overhead the seat, and it was Spider-Man 1. And it's so weird, because like, as a 4-year-old, you don't have that many memories, but that was one of them. That was one of my memories from 2001. So or 2004, was Spider-Man 1. So I cannot just like fathom how much I love the movie. The Green Goblin was so cool. It was so ahead of its time. It really was. Because back then you had Daredevil and, you know, like Blade and everything. But Spider-Man is so unchanging that it's so good. It was such a good movie. I love Spider-Man 1. I will do anything to watch Spider-Man 1 again. Well, you know, I'd watch it, but like I don't have the Blu-ray, I have the DVD, and it's like, man, I don't know, and I don't have money, but Spider-Man 1 is so lit, it's so cool, it's just like Spider-Man, it's like Spider-Man dictionary picture of 2001 Spider-Man 1, because it's just so fucking good. I don't know, it implanted the seed. It planted the seed. So that one and Spider-Man 2, those two movies planted the seed for the monster that I am today of loving comic books. Those two movies are the reason why this bitch has no money, because he spent it all on comic books. Yeet. So, last two. We're down to the movies that kind of fucked up the whole universe for both of them. Now we're down to Spider-Man 3 and The Amazing Spider-Man 2. Ooh, we don't like to talk about those, but I have to because this is a list. So we're gonna talk about them. The Amazing Spider-Man 2. I saw in theaters. They played The Neighborhood in the credit scenes, which is like one of my favorite bands. So I was like, fuck yeah, they fucking with a good band, so I'll fuck with this movie. And then it's just like, the movie was okay, but I don't know, it tried something that I don't know what it was, but it didn't work. It just didn't work. The Rhino, I was dumb hyped for the Rhino when the trailer came out. I was like, oh yeah, I know what I'm talking about. Because back then I had nothing else to do. I didn't go to school. I was like homeschooled or some shit. And all I did was read comic books and just like look up like backstories and origins of people. And the Rhino, I was like, oh my god, the Rhino. And then he was only in it for like 5 seconds at the end of the movie. So I was like, fuck that. Jamie Foxx's Electro was really cool. The soundtrack to that, the score, the boom, boom, I don't know how to explain it. It was like the electricity making the music. That was cool. I will give it that. I remember seeing that in theaters and like the subwoofers just like going crazy, and I was like, oh my god, this is so cool. The Amazing Spider-Man 2, Gwen Stacy, and Peter Parker, I never had a problem with. I'm glad that they didn't do another Mary Jane. That might have just seemed just like another copy and paste. They wanted to kind of make their own thing, which is cool. When she died, I cried. And, I think it was okay, but it didn't stand out like the other movies did. The other movies on this list just stood out, except for Spider-Man 3. The other movies on here just stood out. And they did something to me emotionally. The Amazing Spider-Man 2 was like, okay, it was cool. There were some jokes, there were some quips, there were some whips. Oh, it rhymed. But it didn't stick out in any way, and I think that was a problem. Now we're down to the last bitch, Spider-Man 3. Like I said, we don't fuck with that. Like, we just pretend like it's not there. We put our box sets up on the shelf, and we kind of put a DVD. Like we put like, what do we put? We put like Fantastic Four there because we just want something a little bit better than Spider-Man 3. That's saying a lot. Just like, I remember being in like my house and like I was really young. I don't know when this movie came out. When did Spider-Man 3 come out?
The Lego Batman movie was released the 10th of February, 2017.
The fuck is this bitch? When did Spider-Man 3 come out?
Spider-Man 3 was released the 4th of May, 2007.
Okay, I remember in 2007 being in my new house and being 7 years old, and on the news it was like the longest movie shown in theaters is Spider-Man 3, and I was like, oh my god, it was like 3 hours or something, and I couldn't believe it. I was like, wow, who sits through movies for 3 hours? And then jump cut to me doing a Marvel Cinematic Universe marathon in like next year or something, but like, it didn't, the villains I think were the problem. They tried to do a new Green Goblin, which doesn't work. OG Green Goblin, William Dafoe was like dab on him, like no replacing him. So they tried to replace him, and that wasn't gonna fly, and it didn't literally fly, and it just didn't work out. Then Sandman, what the fuck was that? First of all, it was an okay story. It was just not an interesting. I don't think it was an interesting villain. It was like Calendar Man. Calendar Man could be cool, but like it's just like, really, that's what you do? So it's just like, I don't fuck with you, Big Sean, but I don't know. The Venom was, the symbiote wasn't handled correctly. It came crashing down from space, and then we looked up, and then no explanation. Like we looked around the theater, no explanation. So I don't know, like what they thought was gonna happen there, but it didn't work out. Spider-Man 3 symbiote was not okay, and then. All the memes of Dark Spider-Man or Dark Peter Parker, like when he was walking around, was just that's funny. I will fuck with that. I'm glad Spider-Man 3 happened just for those kicks nowadays. Like 10 years later, we can look back on the Spider-Man dancing club scene and him being a dick to everybody in the city. That's what it's worth. That's what we got out of it. But at the time, Spider-Man 3 just fucked. Just like it got fucked. Like everybody hates it. Like nobody likes it. Maybe some people like it, but I do like the Amazing Spider-Mans more. And Spider-Man 3, like I said, you know, let's just pretend that didn't happen. Now we are in the new generation. We have a bunch of new kids coming into the comic book field. Everybody's here now. It used to be just really weird nerds, but now it's everybody. Everybody loves these movies. Everybody loves the MCU. And, you know, Spider-Man Homecoming. What are we going to do about that? So, I think that it will stand. Let's see this list again. Let's see. Spider-Man 2, Amazing Spider-Man. I think it'll go number 4 on my list. Spider-Man 2, The Amazing Spider-Man, Spider-Man 1, then Homecoming. I think it'll be the last of the good ones on my list, and then The Amazing Spider-Man 2, and then Spider-Man 3. I think it'll be number 4. So, because like I said, it's not gonna, The Amazing Spider-Man made such a fucking impact on me, and so did the original 2 Spider-Mans, that nothing's gonna change that. I'm already here, I know what's gonna happen, Spider-Man. Whatever, I know this character now, and it's just like not exciting anymore. Everybody just lost their hype for some reason. A lot of people, not you know, some people, not everybody, but some people just like went, like especially me. I just like was really excited when it was announced, and then slowly I just like faded into the back, and then like I didn't get, I'm not hyped for it. I'm like I'm more hyped for like Black Panther, which is like dab on them good. But like, oh my god, never mind, that's another video. That's another fucking video. But the Homecoming, I think it will be the longest lasting Spider-Man. I think I will enjoy it. I think it will not be a Guardians of the Galaxy. I don't think it'll be a breakthrough hit. I think like a lot of people are saying it's just fun, it's just quippy. And I feel like I'm going to be watching a kids movie. And that's just like my honest opinion. I think I'm gonna walk in there and all it is gonna be a kids movie, and it's gonna be like, okay, whatever, that's Spider-Man, whatever. I'll be watching, you know, Justice League and Aquaman and Flash. God, how did DC seep into this? It's just in the back of my mind, just the DC just stand. It's just right there, just waiting to come out at any point. And I tried to hold him back, but he came out during this episode. But whatever. Spider-Man Homecoming is not going to be as good as the main trilogy or the first Amazing Spider-Man. But it will still be fun. It'll be good to, you know, just have another Spider-Man, I guess, in the MCU, which is like the best part about it. If it was like another Sony reboot, fuck, I'm just laughing thinking about that shit. And first of all, not first of all, why did I say that, but what the fuck is Sony doing with the Sinister Six in their Venom movie? And then that's what everybody thought. And they said, oh, Tom Hardy's gonna play it. And we were like, oh, really? And then everybody just like fucked with it. And I heavily fuck with Tom Hardy in anything. Just like anything he does. Except for whitewashing Bane. Like that was my one chance to get a Mexican Bane, and then I was robbed of it. But I wasn't a social justice warrior back then. And I'd like to think I'm not now, but I think I fight for rights. But whatever. Fuck, how did that turn into that? So I think it'll be cool. I think whatever Marvel does with Spider-Man will be cool. It will be fun. Whatever Sony's doing, I don't know what they're doing. I should have touched on that more, but I didn't because nobody knows what's going on except for Tom Hardy is playing Venom. Just like they're making Nightwing movies and just like they're making all these other movies. It's just not gonna happen. Like you can't count on it anymore. Like you know, movie companies say shit and they don't back it up. So let me know what you guys think. What are your favorite movies? You know, a lot of you are older than me, like maybe like in their 20s, and then your Amazing Spider-Man, like Amazing Spider-Man to me is like your Spider-Man 1. So like that might be number 1 on your list. So let me know what you guys think, and I will see you guys in the next video where it probably will be a Spider-Man Homecoming review. So let me know what you guys want to see for that video, and I will see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.